Back to you, Victor.
All right, thank you. So a quick intro. My name is Victor Ollervidez. I'm going to be teaching about marketing with the JAMStack. So Matt did an excellent job of explaining why I love Gatsby. It's pretty much what I'm going to be doing today, explain to you why Gatsby helped our marketing team at RefiJet. So let's get started here. All right. Share my screen. Okay. Can you guys see my screen?
Yes.
Awesome. All right. So again, my name is Victor, and here's some of my handles, just in case anybody's interested. I do some freelance work with GraphQL, Gatsby, anything that's front-end development. So let's start off by explaining what is JAMStack. So that's going to be one of the main things when it comes to marketing departments. It's really hard to get them to change their technologies. So when you introduce something like JAMStack, most of the time they're going to be asking, what is JAMStack? And giving them a super simple explanation of a modern web development architecture based on client-side JavaScript, reusable APIs, and pre-built markup probably won't mean much to them, honestly. I've worked with many marketing departments over my career, and most of the time they don't care about what you're talking about when it comes to technology, so you really got to convince them. And to do that, we have to really focus on what marketing goals are. What are marketers mainly interested in? And most of the time, you're going to find out that they're interested in increasing lead generation. They want more traffic. They want more leads to buy their products. Also, they want increased website conversions, which goes along with the lead generation. And most of the times, that's like one of the big issues with them. They're like, hey, my website's slow. Speed. That's another one, So conversion rates drop when your website takes more than 3 seconds to load. It's something about 50% of users stop using your site once it takes that long. So, speed. That's what they want. They want it to be SEO optimized all the time. Pretty much want it to work out of the box. Most of the time, they don't want to put in too much legwork into getting the SEO running. And also, they expect high level web analytics and tracking. They want to be able to track their users through the whole funnel, whether it is a conversion or an abandonment or just coming to your site and checking it out. We want to be able to retarget you with ads. That's marketing. That's not me personally, but I'm just explaining what it is that they want. And of course, technology's got to be easy to use. Most of the time, marketers are used to one thing, and it's really hard to get them away from that. And if you introduce something new that sounds completely out of the ordinary, they probably will back off and say, no, we don't want that. We want WordPress. So yeah, it's got to be easy to use. It's got to be WordPress most of the time. Luckily, we got Gatsby. And like I said, Matt did an excellent job explaining everything of what Gatsby does. So this is how the JAMStack can help. Performance security is a big thing. And Matt talked on that. Having static assets served over a CDN decouples us from having a database. So, you remove some of the security risks there. And on top of that, you get a performance boost because you're not making requests to your database to pull the information you need. It's already sitting there ready to load. So that's something awesome. Gatsby also has SEO optimizations out of the box. That's great. Honestly, just like Matt ran his Lighthouse audit with minimal effort, you can get really high Lighthouse scores, and that's awesome. That increases visibility for your brand. And of course, optimize for lead conversions. That comes with the performance of the performance of the site. The faster your site is, you get a bigger chance of leads converting, honestly. Gatsby or the JAMStack offers an awesome developer experience like Matt showed. So easy to get things running. Really takes almost no effort to get a new Gatsby site hooked up to an awesome data source and just start sourcing. It's really easy to integrate third-party marketing tools. That's a really big one, right? When you're working with tools like WordPress, for instance, it takes a little bit of extra legwork to get things working the way marketing departments want it to. It's not usually just a Google Tag Manager tag and we're ready to go. Most of the time, we need to have something like Marketo and have custom data layer pushes to make sure that you're tracking your leads if they're on your forms or appending in your forms. So yeah, that, like I said, it's a JavaScript app and it makes it super easy to integrate all these third-party tools. And of course, bring your data source. That's one of the biggest things for me. I can use one framework. I can use Gatsby and I can bring in any data source, whether it be Strappy, WordPress, Dotto, whatever it is. It's just awesome to be able to bring these things in here. And if you show this to marketing departments like I did, most of the time they're going to look at you and be like, awesome, this all sounds good, but how can you actually, can you prove to us that this is going to work, right? So I'm here to show you what I did with the company I work for, RefiJet. RefiJet.com is where you'll find the site. And it's a complete Gatsby WordPress, WP GraphQL and Friends, and Netlify. So that's what I use for RefiJet. When I came into RefiJet, RefiJet was going through a complete rebranding. They were at the point where they were hiring new marketing people to start taking over the business of making sure their brand gets across the internet. And that's when I came on. They wanted a new website that could officially communicate their new brand. What's the point of building and rebranding your company and making it look nice if nobody can actually see it? And it had to be highly secure. Being in the fintech industry, we have to follow a lot of regulations. You have to make sure that everything is every security aspect is touched. And I figured that using something like a static site really bundles that all up for me, because we have a static site that you can't hook into a database. And on top of that, whenever we're making API calls, I'm just using Netlify functions to send that off to Netlify functions and have that done for me, so we can actually make sure everything stays secure. And the new website had to play nicely with the new proprietary software for the company. They have their own software in-house that does what they needed to do, and I need to make sure that I can build software that can efficiently pump leads to their software without any issues, really. You want to be able to get a lead in, get it in the funnel, and make sure that you execute and push the sale. So I had to build something that was going to work awesome. And one of the biggest things for me was developer experience. That's how the JAMStack, Gatsby in particular, helped me be able to help RefiJet get all these things out. Modern websites call for modern tooling. Gatsby gives you that. It gives you that out of the box. You want to use SaaS, go for it. Just strap it up. Let's go ahead and use it. You want to use React Helmet. You want to get your SEO going. Awesome. Let's do all that stuff. And it's really, really easy. Tools like Gatsby.js and WP GraphQL make building performant marketing websites a breeze. It really does. It's really easy to get up and running. You CD into your directory, Gatsby new marketing site. I'm hooking into the starter default. If you go to Gatsby's docs, you'll be able to see that. It's pretty standard. It looks exactly like what Matt showed you guys. And then you can just go ahead and CD and Gatsby develop, and you're up and running. You've got your Gatsby site started. And sourcing your data is super easy with WP GraphQL, of course. I'm a big WordPress fan, so when Gatsby came around and I realized that I can actually decouple WordPress and use modern technology on the front end, but still give marketers the same environment they're used to put out the content they need, I was all over it. I was like, why not? I've been a WordPress engineer for so long, and I can see the benefits. So yeah, bring your data from anywhere. WP GraphQL makes it super easy. And Gatsby having that plugin architecture makes it really easy for you to be able to source data from anywhere. And for me, it was WordPress. And that's exactly what RefiJet wanted. The marketing team, just like any marketing team, most of the time that you encounter, they're used to WordPress. They're used to working with WordPress, and they want to keep using WordPress. It's really hard to take them away from it. And so, yeah, WP GraphQL made it extremely easy for me to be able to show them that they can keep using WordPress and have modern technology in the front end. Query and render your data with JSX. I love React. I've been working with it for a long time now. And if I can build static sites or static marketing sites with React and query my data extremely easily, why not? That cuts out so much time, so much step time out of, me having to strap up a REST API, and then it's going to make it so, like Matt said, because you get the whole kitchen sink. With GraphQL, you only get what you need. It's declarative. So that makes it awesome. You can break up templates as needed, kind of like WordPress. It's pretty cool. So yeah, you write everything with JSX. That's the most awesome part, I think. React makes it extremely easy. I think it looks really nice when you write it. And if you're a React developer, you shouldn't pass it up. You should really, if you work with marketing teams, you should really bring this to the table and let them know, like, hey, we can use React and we can use whatever CMS you want. You guys can take over the content, and we'll make sure that we render stuff for you the right way. Deploying is extremely easy as well. Git add, git commit, and git push. to your origin. I have Netlify running, so I have Netlify auto builds depending on what branch I'm pushing to. So I'm pushing a master, staging, dev, or QA. If I'm pushing a specific branch to do A/B testing, this makes it extremely easy. I typically run Netlify from the command line. I'm one of those people, command line person. So, but Netlify makes it extremely easy for you to be able to launch and deploy any of these static sites. But Netlify isn't the only source out there. There's a few. There's Versal now. That's another good one. There's Surge, another one that I've used. So you pretty much have a lot of flexibility to be able to come up with the right stack that's going to meet the needs of your marketing team. And that's exactly what I did for RefiJet. I came in, the developer experience allowed me to ship a website within 3 months. Pretty crazy, right? I came in, they were rebranding, they needed a site up in 3 months, and it had to be performant and meet all the needs. Gatsby allowed me to do that in 3 months, and it's been awesome. There is some trade-offs with JAMStack, of course. Awesome things tend to come with trade-offs. It's true. If it's too good to be true, usually is. There's usually always a trade-off, especially with WordPress. So getting marketers to adopt new technology takes some explaining. Like a developer is going to be required to make changes and push new features, right? They can take care of the content, but if they want new templates, they want a new feature on the site, they're going to require a developer. They might see that as a negative, but honestly, I see that as a positive because they have a developer who knows what they're doing, making sure that this product or this new feature is getting shipped correctly. And of course, developers get job security. Why not? Gatsby is doing awesome. A build is required to preview any new changes with, when you're using WordPress and Gatsby as a front end. With WordPress, if you're a WordPress dev, you can, code up your template, add some data in the WP dashboard, preview, and it's there. That is not the case with, using Gatsby or a static site generator. You have to deploy a build. That's usually something that marketers are going to tend to shy away from. There would be, oh no, well, I want to be able to see my new changes up. They want to be able to see their new changes right away, essentially. So my workaround for that was, of course, using Netlify branching. I give one of the WordPress installs has one of the Netlify auto deploys. So anytime they save something, builds a deploy, I let them know it takes about a minute or two, depending on what they're doing, and they can see the new changes. So that works awesome. Again, we lose some native WordPress functionality, like shortcodes. I haven't really found a good way to work with shortcodes. Marketers love to work with shortcodes. They love throwing stuff into their posts. That's one thing that I found really difficult. So my workaround was using ACF. Everything that I use is bootstrapped with ACF. It's WP GraphQL and ACF. So I'm leveraging my WordPress experience and my React experience to build this product that pretty much gives marketing everything you need. And one thing that irks me is that, no, you can't go off and change permalinks. That will break everything most of the time. So that's one thing you got to drill into their minds and let them know that, hey, we have this new technology. You have all the access to the content. You just aren't going to be restricted. I found that as a challenge at first, but eventually they soften up a bit. They actually end up liking that because they can make sure that I will check and make sure that everything is being shipped and everything's working before we actually push it out to prod. So yeah, those were pretty much the trade-offs. Let's start going into optimized out of the box. I kind of gave it that title just to trick you guys a little bit. Really, we're going to talk about how Gatsby or the JAMStack in general has helped RefiJet increase their web traffic and lead conversions and pretty much all around do a better job of getting their brand across. So the new website was released in December. I'm going to be showing you analytics that start in January. It takes about a month for us to get the right analytics going. So the first one's pretty interesting. January 2020 over December 2019. That's 132% increase in traffic. Crazy, right? Most of it was organic. This was before we started doing more campaigns. Before we start pushing any paid sources, essentially. Our keyword ranks went super high, it being static and it being available on the CDN. Google crawlers can actually find that content a lot easier. So all those SEO efforts really don't go wasted. They're going to be there and Google can find them. It's pretty awesome. February 2020 over January, you're still seeing a positive increase in the hundreds. That's awesome. Honestly, I've never worked on a project where we had such a quick impact, shipping a new product and then pretty much overnight seeing, the positives coming from it. And I mean, I was ecstatic. Just look at those numbers, 173%. That's a lot, especially when it comes to a company our size. We're not an extremely big company. So this does present challenges for us, right? In March, that's another positive. It kind of went down, of course, with all this craziness that's going on. We did see a little bit of a dip in traffic, but if it wasn't anything to be worried about, we were still receiving a lot of traffic. Almost 14,000 users to the site, so that's awesome. And this is overall January through May. I just got an overview. We've had a 500% increase in traffic, new users and sessions. That's crazy. Like I said before, this has presented a challenge for us. Now we're getting so much traffic that, it creates issues internally because, hey, we're generating so many leads now that we have to keep up with the work. It's not a bad problem to have. It's an excellent problem to have. And I'm pretty sure the company was ecstatic to see these types of numbers. Another thing that JAMStack gave us was better visibility or better traffic breakdown. We can actually tell where our lead sources were coming from, just because it makes it so easy for me to integrate these third-party marketing and tracking software. Honestly, it made everything extremely easy. It made our brand jump through the roof. It's really easy to find us now. We're up there with our bigger competitors, and it's been good all around. We got better performance. If you worked with WordPress in the past, it can be a little crazy. We can get the site before is getting upwards of 10 seconds. Most of the time that's unoptimized images and unoptimized assets. Gatsby takes care of that for you out of the box most of the time, So this is what we're averaging now, under a second, and we're pulling off 76 requests, including marketing sources, all those trackers. So that's pretty good. That's given us really great performance and giving marketing everything they've needed to achieve the goals that they've wanted, which is a lot of conversions. So in the span of about 5 months, January to May, we've done 6.3 thousand conversions. There's about a few days in there that I shipped something that broke production. I apologize, but we're up there in about 6.5. That's a lot. Previously, we were maybe seeing 100 to 200 a month. Now we're seeing upwards of 1,200 conversions a month. And that's really good. Like I said, this presents challenges for the business because we're generating so many leads that it's just generating more work, and we're not a big company. But this is just to prove that, changing up the way marketing does work, or pretty much just changing up the way that marketing does things, because marketing tends to be stuck on this one mindset where, hey, we were just going to do it the way it's always worked, and we don't want to venture into anything new because it's probably not going to work. Well, I'm here to say that we should probably all take that risk. If you work with the marketing department, I say try to sell them on, doing a GraphQL, doing a JAMStack, just doing something that is JAMStack for marketing, because it makes it extremely easy. Another great thing that JAMStack brought to the company was the ability for us to bring on paid lead sources. In one day I can ship out a new landing page. I can integrate new partners. I can integrate new tracking that these partners require. So Gatsby has just essentially giving us a marketing kit all in one. And it took one developer to build it. I built and I designed the website in 3 months. That's crazy, right? That's part of the developer experience. That's part of, the way JAMStack works. And that all funnels into these really good, I see they're really good metrics that we've seen over the last 5 months. I'm really excited to see how we keep growing. I'm still constantly developing and adding new features to the site. So yeah, I'm really excited to see how things are going to keep growing for us. Like I said, we're in fintech, so all this is really good. We're an industry that thrives off and needs leads. We need them to convert. That's how we make our money. And Gatsby hasn't failed us. This is actually JAMStack in general has just made it a lot easier for us to meet those goals and meet that ROI that execs really look for. They want you to be able to prove, this time that you're implementing, or this time that you're taking to build this a different way, how is it going to pay off? And being able to show them out of the box, pretty much being able to track all this is awesome. It's been great. Like I said, I didn't show you guys much code because Matt took care of that, and all that plays into what I showed you here today of how the JAMStack has helped us really increase our ROI, increase our conversions, increase our traffic, and really get our name out there. Yeah, that's pretty much all I have for today. And I will pass it off to any questions that anybody might have.
Yeah, if you have any questions, use the Q&A feature at the bottom of your Zoom. I don't have a question, but you talked about some trade-offs, like preview and whatnot, like things that you have to give up when you move away from monolith WordPress to decoupled WordPress. I work at Gatsby, and I maintain WP GraphQL, and we're doing quite a bit to ease that friction. Gatsby Days is Tuesday. It's an online event. If you want to register for that, I'll throw a pitch out there. And we're going to be talking more about what we're doing to address these problems.
Awesome. Yeah, excited. Yeah, I've seen the Gatsby Cloud and Gatsby previews. Looks pretty awesome. So I'm looking forward to moving that way.